Hi there, Rebecca here from stampforjoy.com. Stop on over there and visit me once in a while and you can see some more projects and video tutorials. So today we're going to make this Hoping Your Day is Perfect card. And this is featuring some of the new items from the Occasions mini catalog, which I absolutely love. When I saw it, I knew the first thing I was going to be focusing on. So you can see here the suite, Urban Underground suite. And I got just about everything from this suite. So the first thing is the Nailed It stamp set. And of course, perfect for men, great for women too, but you know, we're always looking for ideas for men, to make cards for men, and this is just the bomb. I love it. Next we have the Hexagonal Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. Say that fast 3 times. This is one of the dynamic embossing folders, so it gives you really deep, nice impressions. And they recommend that you spritz the cardstock with a little bit of water, not too much, just spritz it lightly, and to get a really good impression. I didn't do that on this card because I was using the silver foil paper, but if you're using cardstock, you might want to do that. Next is the Build It Framelits, and oh my gosh, I absolutely love these. This ruler is just so cute. I don't know about you, but I just had to have this. I just absolutely love it. We're also, for the greeting, going to use Sweet Sentiments. And we're using this one right here, Hoping Your Day is Perfect. Now in the inside, I used Just Like You, which is also here. But, you know, you could use the Happy Father's Day on the front also. That's a ways away, so I thought this would be nice for a general mail card, so it could be used for a birthday or anniversary or, you know, just about anything, or for a woman too. Okay, we need some black cardstock and silver cardstock, some white cardstock to go inside, and we're also using the I did not bring that in here, but the Urban Underground designer paper, which is really gorgeous, and it's got a couple of designer or specialty papers in it that has the shiny, I don't know if you can see that, but there's silver on that. I love it. Okay, we're also going to do some embossing, so we need some white embossing powder and your heat tool, the embossing buddy, of course, and some multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're also going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere our greeting to the front of the card. All right, well, let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is take this silver paper and emboss it in our dynamic embossing folder. So I'm going to go run and do that on my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. All right, so I went and embossed that. The one thing you'll know, and it says it right on the embossing folder directions, that you just need the Big Shot platform, and then you put your piece in with the embossing folder and then one of the cutting pads on top. So you don't need to make the 2 cutting pad sandwiches with this, because these are a little thicker. All right, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's just multifaceted. It's just gorgeous. I just love it. Definitely urban feel. All right, so now we're going to take and glue our designer paper underneath it. And I'm going to leave maybe about, see, this is 1 inch. I'm probably going to leave about 3/4 of an inch showing. So I'm going to apply the liquid glue to the back of our silver embossed piece here along the edge. Oops, keep it on my silver paper. I'm going to just line it up here on my grid paper so I can make sure I'm doing pretty straight. There we go. And then since this has a pattern that repeats, you can check the design. All those X's look like they're covered in approximately the same way. So we'll do that. Actually, I think I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Don't want quite so much showing. So I'm going to move it over there. All right. I like the multi-purpose liquid glue because you can kind of maneuver it around for a little bit. Doesn't dry right away. Doesn't tear your paper when you're repositioning it. I'm just comparing it to the original to see, make sure I have room for my little doodads on the side. Okay. So now I'm gonna cut and pre-scored this for our card base. I'm gonna just give that a good crease with our bone folder. And then I'm going to glue this to the front left of the card. Now I usually apply the liquid glue along the edges and maybe go across like that. I'm going to do that a couple times just because it's got the raised edges and the depressed edges, and I want to make sure that it is a, whoops, do that. I guess I could do it that way too. That might be interesting. What do you think? Yeah, I'm going to switch it back. Forgot what I was saying. Because of the raised and depressed edges, I want to make sure it gets a good adherence. I'm sorry if you're hearing that rattling. My table's rattling, moving, and so stamps and this spoon that I use for my embossing powder is rattling. Okay. So next we're going to stamp our greeting, and we want to use our embossing buddy first because that way it will help to remove all the, well, hopefully all of the oils and everything from the cardstock so that the embossing powder won't stick where you don't want it to. All right, and then we're going to use Versamark ink to ink it up. I don't have to worry about lining it up just exactly because we're going to be cutting it out. It looks like I even stamped it upside down, so there you go. Okay. Move that out of the way and grab my heat tool, and I'm going to get it started, let it get warm, and then I'm going to emboss the greeting. So hang on. All right, so I'm going to use the hexagonal framelit to cut that out in my Big Shot. And since I'm heading that way, I am looking for my silver piece. And I'm going to, you can see I stamped on it and I didn't like how that looked, so I didn't use it. I'm going to cut out some screws and bolts in my Big Shot too, and I'll be right, oh, I'm sorry, knocked you over there. Screws and bolts from my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. All right, thanks. All right, I'm back. I cut out, put these out of the way. I just love these little tools. They come out so detailed. Aren't they great? And then the centers of the little bolts are little circles too, and I use those on other projects, so you can just set those aside if you're not using them now and save them for later. I cut out a few. I couldn't remember how many I needed of each, so I probably have a little extra. But again, I'll just save them for another project because I know I'm going to use this a lot. definitely. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue our little pieces on. I'm going to get one that's been upside down so the glue will come out. Whoops, a little too much. Be right back. All right. Didn't have a little tissue in hand. Oh my gosh, I guess I don't need that one. That's really coming out strong. I'll put that aside and grab my other one here. I wasn't hardly squeezing at all. Oops. See, now I can't get this one to start. I'm afraid to squeeze too much. I'll put my microphone back on. Gosh, I got glue on my surface here. So you know what? Actually, I'm going to start in the middle. I like to do that, and then I kind of can space things a little evenly. I'm a little nervous, but I'm going to grab one of these again. Oops, that one hasn't been open. Try this one, and maybe if I don't touch it and just let it flow on its own. It will dry clear, but get too much, see, it kind of goes out the outside. I try to avoid that if I can, because then it might get a little sticky. Tap some of that off. Move that down. Boy, I'm not squeezing at all. Must be a brand new bottle. I have a few laying around everywhere because I don't know, I just do some work here, do some work there. I always want some close by. It's my favorite. Oops. Oh my gosh. Go. Okay. Looking good. So let me put my lid on that so it's not flowing out. I think I'll leave that on the side. I'm going to apply some Stampin' Dimensionals to the back here. Oops. All right, now we're going to work on the inside. So what I did, if I can find it, here we go. I took some of the stamps from, knock that off there, from the Nailed It. Zoom this out just a little bit. Oops, the other way. From the Nailed It stamp set, the smaller ones, and I just mounted them on one of the smaller, longer clear blocks. And I'm just going to stamp that along the bottom edge here for the inside. I'll start in the middle. Whoops, I did it upside down. Okay, because you can see the smiley face. It's upside down. But that's okay. We're just going to flip it over. You have two sides to your piece of cardstock. Don't forget. Make sure I got that right this time. Yes. So again, I'm going to do it along the bottom. Okay, very cute. Now we're going to apply that to the inside of our card. I need to squeeze that one. That came out very, very firmly. Well, I can see my paper cutter probably needs a new blade, but can work on that. Get the edges of that done, but our card is done. So you can find the instructions with all the cutting dimensions and everything on my blog. Just go to stampforjoy.com and look under the videos. I'm going to start listing them there so you can get the tutorials. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.